Kia ora, good evening. I've just baked my apricot and coconut protein bars. I'm waiting for them to go cold so that I can try them. Probably won't be able to try them till later on tonight or tomorrow because I've just taken them out and they take a few hours to go cold. They're better cold. I've found that they taste better. You taste more of the flavours and spices and that better, but yeah, so while I'm waiting for that to go cold, the flat smells amazing. I'm sitting here watching all this stuff drop. Von der Leyen's in trouble because once again, she's been caught stealing hundreds of millions off COVID, like stolen COVID money, has turned up in her bank. Donald Trump is so desperate to try and hide the fact he's in the Epstein files and botched a war that he's pulling out Project Bluebeam, proving everything I said right. When the shit hits the fan and the elites are losing, they're going to pull out Project Bluebeam. And then today, Donald Trump releases the files. And it's all made up, it's all lies, it's all fake, it's all Project Bluebeam because they're desperate. So they got CERN and NASA involved. Oh, we've been picking up signals and they've been like tuning up on portals and it's all lies, it's all lies and nobody's buying it. That's the thing. Nobody's buying it. France are now prosecuting Musk and X. Donald Trump got a patent for the vaccine for the hantavirus just before his visit to King Charles when I started figuring out the whole Pegasus codes. And I'm sitting watching all this stuff drop and I can't even put it into words how surreal it is that after over a decade of me saying that these things were going to happen and everybody said I was nuts and crazy, to the point where I was locked up, threatened with being deported, threatened with being homeless. I was homeless at one point. And I'm not like, oh, woe is me. It's just that's the truth. That's the facts of what happened. I'm not looking for sympathy. I don't want sympathy. I don't want people feeling sorry for me. I want people being like, holy crap, if she can survive all that, then we as a planet can survive anything because you have to understand my story. When I wrote My Long Road to Ascension, I had no idea that was pretty much just the first chapter and that what was going to come after it was the real story. And that story turned into something quite like, obviously it's going to be like our TV movie, like our version of a Hallmark movie. But people won't believe it's true. No. Well, you have to believe it's true. It's a true story. Everything in it really happened. But I won't make it until they all get arrested, until they all lose their jobs, until people kick them out of their positions of power. I'm not going to make this movie until the end so that it ends with these people in the courtrooms and at the Hague and in prison and in jail and all of that, because that has a better ending than, like if we made it now before it had come to its full conclusion. But I'm sitting on X watching all these world leaders. You know what I was saying about the president of Argentina betraying his own people for Israel and Trump? It's literally just happened. Everything I said, everything I've been saying for years. And I thought when I wrote my book that I knew everything, that I knew what I was talking about, because it was talking about the Ascension process. And it's absolutely 100% going to have to be rewritten because that entire book was basically the prelude. It ended up being the prelude. And when I do write my biography, people are not going to believe that my story is real. So while I'm sitting here waiting for my apricot and coconut protein bar to go cold, I'm sitting here watching all these people getting exposed for the frauds that they are. World leaders, presidents, prime ministers, billionaires, oligarchs, tech giants, shit's hitting the fan with ChatGPT, proving everything I said, like everything. And I'm sitting here thinking, when I make the movie of the story of my life, do I realise I'm going to have to get actors to play these people? We're going to have scenes where they're sitting around talking about how they're going to take me down and how they're going to try and kill me and how they're going to send people around to the people that I care about to talk them into helping me bring me down, how they're, going to discuss the gang stalking and the hacking of my phone and, all the threats, all the people they sent to gang stalk me, to try and, make her fall in love with you and then break her heart. Like, make her think you're her protect, like all that sort of bullshit. Knowing that I had to play this game with them the whole time just to gather the evidence to prove that one day I'd be proven right that I was telling the truth about all of it, and now it's happening. And then with Donald Trump releasing these files today, when yesterday I was like, I already said, he's going to do Project Bluebeam. Like, it's all fake. Pulling all this stuff up. Mostly to show the king. And it's not that I'm trying to prove myself. It's that I'm trying to save him by proving myself. By proving everything I said was going to happen true, because it's coming true. I'm hoping it's enough to wake him up to realise he's around people he needs to get away from. And I'm sitting here thinking, when I make the movie of my life, I'm going to have an actor play King Charles. I'm going to have an actor play Yodok Cello because of the whole fraud thing to do with him, and the hacking and the fraud and the fake identities and people pretending to be him and that. Park Jimin. I'm going to have people play von der Leyen, an actor play von der Leyen, an actor play Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Cash Patel, like the whole lot of them, Keir Starmer, and nobody's going to believe that this little barefoot Māori woman who came to the UK thinking she was falling in love with the love of her life, who ended up brutally abusing her for 22 years so badly that she didn't even know she was a victim of abuse until that fateful day when he tried to poison me with the cocaine and stuff. Someone's going to have to play Martin, someone's going to have to play Rocio, Nikki, Michelle, all of them. I'm going to have to sit there and audition actors to play the parts of the people that I'm now getting justice in regards to. Because everything they said about me was a lie. Everything they did to me was criminal. Everything that... And Hillary Clinton, someone's going to have to play Hillary Clinton. Because she's the whole reason why this started in the first place. Because of my blog. Someone's going to have to play Vladdy. How does one like little indigenous Persian Celtic Pictish girl from New Zealand end up in a life where she ended up having to stand up against world leaders in order to protect her king, in order to protect children from an international pedophile racket, where she uses physics that were taught to her by her ancient ancestors, the navigators to the stars, to expose everything that's coming out in the world today against all odds, where I had nations and militaries and secret service and people in my own life trying to stop me from telling the truth through my physics. I always thought it was, they just don't want me rescuing children, but I really think it's because they knew I was getting better and better and better at what I was doing. And if I managed to get through to the king, it's all over for them. And I really think that in the long run, they were banking on stopping me before I figured out what the plan was with the king. Do you realise how many people in my life plotted with world leaders and militaries and secret service, whether indirectly or not, to keep the Epstein scandal quiet and hide the fact that there was a plot to kill the king? The father of my children, who is British, and his British girlfriends and boyfriends, ended up helping people whose ultimate goal, and it's been admitted now, it can't be denied, it's out there, whose ultimate goal was to destroy the monarchy, kill the Queen, and kill King Charles. People in my own life. I got on a plane on the 23rd of August, I think it was 23rd of August, 23rd of August 2000, thinking I was going to be having this wonderful life with this man, not knowing that I was going to have to stand up to him in order to protect a king who at the time I didn't give two shits about. And it's all real. And it's happened in real life. I was stabbed in the shoulder with a dirty needle. It obviously wasn't dirty. He literally took me to the alleyway and pointed out, "Oh yeah, that's where we find dirty needles," he said. He killed my cat. Like, nobody has that life. Who has that life? You can be a president that everyone hates, that, you spend your entire presidency being called a dictator and have assassination attempts and that, but, or you can be the king of the Commonwealth and have people say all these things about you, like, you're responsible for your ex-wife's death and all that sort of thing, and you're a cannibal and a Satanist and all that sort of stuff. But these are people who were born to be targets. I'm literally just like a nobody. I'm a peasant by comparison to the people that I've had to stand up in the face of adversity to protect them in their lives. They wouldn't know me if they passed me in the street. Yodok, Vladdy, the king, like, I'm nothing to these people, and yet they have no idea the true extent of what I've actually done for these people just to protect their reputations, and yet they probably don't even know I exist, other than through whoever runs their social media. And when I put all that into a movie, into like our version of a Hallmark movie, along My Long Road to Ascension, the Debbie Callaghan story, people are going to be like, this can't be true. That can't did that really happen to her? Her ex-husband did what? Her best friend did what? Her students did what? Her brothers and sisters did what? Trump did what? Musk did what? Starmer did what? Clinton did what? The Secret Service did what? They put what in her poison apple? They did. Can that be real? She said what? She predicted what? She was homeless. She was starved. She was tortured. That can't be real. That can't have happened to one person. And then they'll Google me. They'll look it all up and they'll be like, holy shit, it's a true story. Because I'm not allowed to lie. So nothing in it will be fake. And I'm going to have to audition people to play my ex-husband, to play my husband, to play my sons, to play von der Leyen, to play Trump. I'm going to have to audition these people to play the roles of the people who all worked together to try and protect pedophiles who were plotting to take over the world by destroying the British monarchy. And the only thing that's stopping them is the little barefoot Māori woman who got on the plane that day thinking she was flying to the love of her life and ended up in hell with the minion of Lucifer. And it's all going to be real. Nobody's going to believe it until they look it up. I'll write it as a book first and then I'll release it as like a TV thing or a docu-series. I kept the videos that I made after I came out of my dark night of the soul. I've got them saved, and I had always said that I've got them up on my YouTube, and I said that I was saving them to turn into a docu-series so that one day I could make a documentary about what I went through, where I'd narrate it myself, the whole process, and the videos that I made like right after it, like a couple of days after it, and I look like I've been through hell because I had. I have. They are on my channel, but I always said I wanted to make a documentary that um, to narrate what I went through, and I will. But it needs to be made into a movie as well. It's just going to be weird sitting there auditioning people to play the role of Putin and Trump and Starmer and the King and Martin and Chris and Nikki and Ferris, her husband, and Michelle and her husband, and well, I never actually met her husband, but I think I did briefly. I can't remember. All of them. It's going to be weird. Some of it will have to be shot in America. And I mean, I might actually be in America, in which case some of it would have to be shot in the UK. Some of it will have to be shot in like Germany. Because there might not be any acting interaction with, like, say, me and Yodok Cello or me and Vladimir Putin, but the fact that whoever plays me is going to have to be filmed, like trying to reach out to them to say, hey, look, this is happening and you're in trouble. And obviously I'm not going to be able to use their real social media or anything like that, so I'm going to have an actor play him and his social, play him on a fake social media. That's the actor portraying Yodok Cello, but I probably will have to get legal permission to use his name. Otherwise, I don't know. I know that if I make a movie about him, I'm going to have to get permission to use his name. But it's not for anything bad. It's to clear his name. But if not, I might have to come up with a fake character and just say that some people in this movie, their names have changed to protect their identity or something like that. Put in a caveat. These are real events, but some of the characters' names have changed in order to protect their identity. And I'll just call him like Flugel the flutist or something. Yeah, because if I call him like Podok Cello or something, they're going to know. So I just call him like Flugel the flutist. Oh, Lord. But yeah, that's kind of surreal. It's like life imitating art, imitating life. Like a weird kind of virtual reality thing in my head. Me sitting there thinking, I'm going to make a movie about my life where, looking down the lens of the camera, I'm going to see people acting out my life. Like it's surreal. It's like virtual reality. It's like stepping into like a parallel universe in my head where I'm sitting there thinking, holy crap, one day someone's going to be playing the role of me sitting in a flat, cooking apricot and coconut protein bars, thinking about, oh my God, someone's going to be making a movie about me one day. It's one of the reasons why I record everything as well, so that it's all there documented, so that when I do make the movies and when I do write my book and that, it's all there. The stuff is all there. Because, I mean, in the ordinary world, I'd have like a typewriter on my laptop, but I don't have access to either, so I have to use my phone to record everything. It's surreal. It's like I'm looking into the story of my life for the purpose of making it into a movie. And it's like some weird virtual reality kind of being a visual thinker. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I'm going to be sitting watching people act my life for a movie, for a teledrama, where all the people in my life and all the people I've had to deal with are all going to be played by actors. From the cops to the dodgy judge to those doctors, the nurses, all of them. People are going to have to play them. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. It might make me quite emotional. Like having to relive it all is going to be quite hard. I said that with the Invisible Tears, the Vladdy one, but I don't know if there's any point making that now. If I might as well just, I mean, it doesn't have to be my long road to Ascension. It just could be called Invisible Tears, the Debbie Callaghan story. So I don't need to make a movie about me and Putin because it's already going to be part of that story. But it'll tell the story of everything. Him abusing me at night in my sleep, being locked up, being starved, my heart stopping, having to get under the shower, my skin rotting, like all of it. It's going to be a raw tell-all. And it's just, my brain, it's just weird to think that I'm going to have to audition people to play my husband and my ex-husband and all of them so that they can all play out the roles of the story of my life. Some sort of freaky virtual reality polar existence. Yeah, weird. And watching everything that I said coming true, even the stuff that sounded far-fetched, not only is it going to get put in the movie, but I can't put into words how, well, it's gratifying for a start. It makes me feel victorious But it's also surreal and hard to wrap my head around the fact that this whole time, when thousands of people told me I was nuts, it turns out I was the sane one out of every single one of them. Because my physics is superior to their opinion on every level. And it just goes to show what little people like that work at CERN and work for the NHS and work for the police force and the legal system and that, how little they actually know about the human mind and consciousness. Just because I have a different way of doing physics, and yet my physics is more superior than anything that the military and Secret Service and CERN and that have. Because I didn't have to fake anything or lie. I just had to sit and be patient and have faith. And now it's all coming true. And because now everyone's talking about, here we go with the fake aliens, they've finally done it. It actually makes all those people at NASA and CERN who said, we're talking to aliens and that, like it's actually, it's degrading them. It's humiliating for them because nobody's buying it. People have been picking up the stuff I've been posting over the last few days and running with them and confirming everything I said by bringing evidence back to me that it can't be denied about everything I was saying, from what they did to the Queen, what they're trying to do with the King, the fake pandemic, creating the war to cause a lockdown, to, hike up the prices of oil, like everything. Project Bluebeam, I've been going on about Project Bluebeam since like 2016-17, and now it's all happening. And all the people I said were going down are going down. They're all being exposed. People are bringing stuff to me now about von der Leyen and Musk and all of that that's just like... I never doubted the stuff I was saying because I had absolute faith in who was showing me this stuff that was going to happen, because I have that much faith in Atom. I never doubted a single thing I said other than whether the King would do the right thing and wake up and do the right thing. That's the only thing I doubted. But God said it was his choice. But then God also said, don't give up on him, because God knew what was coming. So if I wake the King up and he does the right thing and dissolves Parliament and goes after everyone that betrayed him, then I was like a gajillion% right. But I never doubted myself. But it's the fact that now other people are seeing what I've been saying all along, and now they believe me. Now they believe me, and they're like supporting me, feeding me more information to further prove everything that I've been saying. People have started believing me, and I've inspired people to fight back, and I've inspired people to stand in truth, not fear, and that's exactly what I wanted. That's the whole reason why I went public with my story. Why I put it all out there, warts and all, scars, tears, blood, fears, all of it, pain, celebrations, rejoices, achievements, all of it. I've put it all out there. People keep saying to me, just sit down and shut up, be quiet, stop making things, stop talking. And I'm like, no, because one day my story's going to save someone. When it ended up saving the King. One day my story's going to inspire people who have been put through the same situation. I need to be the trailblazer. I need to show people how to do it, so that if it happens to them, they're going to know what to do, and that's exactly what's happened. And now people are rising up, and they're standing against these people that have told us to sit down and shut up for so many centuries now. that they're standing up for their ancestors. Slowly but surely, the rapture's happening. And because the rapture isn't what people think it is, the rapture is the global mass awakening, where everyone then works together to take down the dark side. And I'm actually seeing it happen in real time. And after so many years of predicting it and seeing it and guiding people and preparing them, it's actually now finally happening. And it's like, man, I can't believe I was right. I never doubted it, but just to see it all happening when I've had so many years of people just trying to suppress me and silence me and threaten me and shut me up and shut me down and that, trying to threaten me with all sorts to stop me from talking. And I didn't listen because I just kept listening to God, to Atom, just trusted my instincts. And now it's all happening. And now people are finally finding their voices. Because I've proven God is real. And He has our backs. And if enough of us stand together and say no more, that's the end of darkness, that's the end of tyranny, all we've known for centuries. The end of the world as we know it is coming, it's happening right now. The end of the world as we know it. And the world that we know it has been horrible for decades. Decades and decades and decades, centuries. Just oppression and tyranny and war and bloodshed and children being killed, even like in the Victorian era, you had 4 and 5-year-olds having to go to work every day. Our lives have been shit for centuries, and it's all coming to an end because people are finally standing up and taking those tyrannical bloodlines down, holding them accountable. Because you have to remember that the Zuckerbergs and the von der Leyens and the Calais and Callis and the Musks and that, their grandparents, their great-grandparents, their great-great-grandparents, their great-great-great-great-great, going back. They've been planning this since day dot. And they just pass it down to the next generation. So if we've been ruled by the same bloodlines and been subjected to tyranny and dictatorships and war and suffering and pandemics and famines and all of that, poverty, by the same handful of bloodlines, and it's finally coming to an end. It ends with this generation because people have finally been brave enough to stand up and say no more. And they tried to take King Charles down with them, and it turns out that, he's not perfect. He has his faults, but he's not one of them. Even though they've tried everything they can to try and make sure that people think he's one of them, he's not. Because God and the Queen and Queen Victoria and Tsar Nicholas and Diana and that wouldn't have defied the laws of physics and broken out the realms of the supernatural on the world stage for everyone to see if he was the bad guy. You see how they've come after Trump and Musk and all of that, and yet they surrounded him like a bulletproof, like an invisible bulletproof vest. Even Diana. If he was the bad guy, I'd be right in there calling him out as well. Just like Starmer and Johnson and Blair and all that. So if they're all gathering around him to save him, it means that he's someone worth saving. He's someone who needs to be saved. He holds great value to the progression of mankind in the new world. Once the darkness falls away from him, I just have to wake him up. Because, as I've proven with ChatGPT, and if he listens to the radio or watches TV shows and that, if he's got magic watches or if they gave him meta glasses or anything like that, even through his Instagram and X account and all that, they can get to him. They can get to him just by using the hypnotic voices if he's around people that talk in monotone voices. Because I think they got to him. I really do think that they have some level of control over how he thinks or the way he thinks, and I've been trying to wake him up, trying to demagnetize him and wake him up. Even though he keeps making bad decisions, I'm hoping this thing with the whiskey was the shock that he needed. Because being a Scorpio Taurus, the one thing he will hate more than anything in the world is knowing that he's lost money from a business deal. We don't like to lose money. Holy shit, she was telling the truth. I need to get these people out of my life and hold them accountable. All he has to do is dissolve Parliament and get Starmer arrested for the whole pandemic thing. Extradite Trump, because Musk opened his big mouth. And that's how you know God's here, because even Tedros admitting that the vaccines were designed to kill infants and that, they're all starting to confess things because God is here, and devils and demons are forced to tell the truth in the presence of God. They can't lie in the presence of God. It's impossible. And so now they're accidentally coming out and saying things that are incriminating them. And then I catch them and say, see, told you. And that's all going to get put in the movie. How do I represent God in the movie? How do I represent the Queen and Diana? Like, when the person playing me is like working on the codes and deciphering the codes and getting these downloads and that, like, how am I going to present it? Flashes of thought or memory, or have like some voice off in the background. Like, I'm not sure how to do it, but we'll figure it out. I had to make this video because it's like, oh my God. That's the reality of it. It's going to be weird. But yeah, getting people to audition to play these characters and that, and then watching them act my life. Anyone who doesn't know my story, who watches it, is going to think that can't have happened. And then they'll look me up. Oh my God, that happened. I've got to read her book now. Or people reading the book, yeah, she's making a movie about it. Is that true? Did that really happen? Yeah, no, it did, because I Googled it. She's still got her old ex up. She's still got her YouTube channel. Like, you can see the videos. The power of one woman against many. All because I was the one woman who could do it. Nobody else could have done what I did, physics-wise, as an occult physicist, because I'm the only one. But nobody else had the guts and no one else had the faith. That's the ultimate test of faith. Everything that I went through, the ultimate test of faith. And I passed with flying colours as far as I'm concerned. Hey, Father. So I'm going to go now. But yeah. What a life. Typical me, eh? I couldn't just have a normal life. I had to be this. I had to be extra. I was conceived as a miracle. I shouldn't have even been conceived. I should never have been born. I should never have been born healthy-ish, other than my spinal diseases and that. I should have been born with 7 heads and like 2 fingers, and because my mum had cervical cancer when she fell pregnant with me and had to have cobalt therapy. And then the second she gave birth to me, they whipped me off, and she was put immediately to have surgery to have her cervix and that removed, like immediately, like within an hour, I think she said. And I had my 8-year-old sister And some of my aunties and that raised me until my mum was well enough to look after me, but they gave her 7 years to live after I was born, and she lived for 32, 33 years. I wasn't even supposed to survive. I've been fighting to exist ever since my parents made out that night. I've been fighting to live from the second I was conceived. My newborn baby photo, I think I was about 7 hours old. I'm holding my fist up. I said I was ready. I was born ready to fight the world. So I'd like to put my sword down now. My scars though are killing me, because I've been having to like lift and carry things, and I'm not supposed to carry anything heavier than a bag of sugar, but I'll be able to put all of this in the movie. Hot bath and a big fat joint, that's what I could do with. Nice kebab or something. Oh, this is when I wish I had a man in my life, because he could sort it out for me. But yeah, the oregano oil and this new diet that I'm having to promote women's health, and to look after like the part of me that is my digestive system and my uterus, and all the lady bits and stuff. It's made a world of difference to my the inflammation in my stomach from when I was poisoned, and that it's only my scar pain now. It's not very often I get digestive pain because of my new diet. It's just scar pain, and that's the worst part. But I'm alive against all the odds. So I can hold my head up high, I think, because I've survived a lot. From my conception to the paedophile trying to get me and my best friend the day we got out of school when I was 5. All of it. I've survived it all. So when I get justice and I get that money in my bank and I can walk out of here to the country that God has designated for me to go to, I'll be able to, I think I've earned the right to look back in pride. I hope my ancestors are proud of me. I hope my mum and dad are proud of me, and I think they are, because they've helped me a lot, especially recently, and I hope Amber's proud of me. And I hope that if my ancestors did anything wrong to the British royal family, to the Russians, to America, to anyone that I've had to stand to defend and protect and look out for, and that, then I hope this means that I've paid off my ancestors' karmic debt, and that whatever wars we fought against each other, like the Crusades, because I had people on both sides of that, had ancestors on both sides, to, the invasion of New Zealand, any of it. I mean, we had the Frasers in Canada. If my ancestors did anything wrong, then hopefully my life has paid off their karmic debt, so that they can be forgiven through me and my actions. So now I just want to get out of here. I want justice. I want to just pack my stuff and go. I want to soak in a bath for an hour until I'm crinkly like a prune. I want to stuff my face with a steak and chips and have a nice ice cold gluten-free beer, or gluten-free, well, not, I don't need to be gluten-free cider, but gluten-free beer, a nice gin with a squish of lemon and ice, whatever, some booze, a big fat joint, a nice walk along the beach, pack my bags, find somewhere to build, and then start getting these kids in to make all these incredible movies and shows and stuff, because I'm ready to get this show on the road. My feet are itchy. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready. I wasn't ready, but I'm ready now. Because the stuff I've written is too good not to be made. And people are literally crying out on social media for the stuff that I'm bringing back or the stuff that I'm going to be making. And I'm ready to go now. So I'm going to go and get some food. And I had to put this out there because it's like, wow, you don't realise the magnitude of what it is I've gone through until you look at the perspective of I'm going to have to audition people to play the roles of all the people that put me through it. And then watch my life be turned into a teledrama, our version of Hallmark. I just have to come up with a name for it. Because we have to have our version of Hallmark, little telly movies. So, right, so I'm going to go. Wowie wow. Wowie wow wow wow. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō.